Hello everyone, my name is Jacqueline Sampah-Adjei, an Environment and Sanitary Engineering Specialist at Construmat Africa in Accra, Ghana. I'm presenting on a framework for assessing and improving water and sanitation services in climate-vulnerable low-income communities. In my presentation, I'll give a brief background about climate change and climate vulnerabilities in low-income communities. Then I will delve into the development of the framework for assessing and improving water and sanitation services, components of this framework, and I'll conclude with some of the benefits of implementation of this framework. We will all agree that climate change is a global concern. The UN describes this issue as a shift in temperature and weather patterns in the long term. This phenomenon can't be natural. However, human activities such as burning of fossil fuel, among others, is accelerating this change. Climate change is not dependent on income levels of countries. For example, in 2021, Europe experienced flooding in most parts of the continent. However, higher income countries are able to manage this issue better than those in low-income countries due to availability of resources and technology. From this figure, the World Bank country classification by income level, which was developed using the Atlas method, suggests that the countries in the shade of green are either in higher or upper middle income, and the countries in the purple shades are either in lower middle or lower income levels. The concept of climate vulnerability describes a country's exposure and sensitivity to climate risk and its capacity for coping with the risk. Some of the issues or risks that are faced by low-income communities include water scarcity, inadequate sanitation facilities and services, change in rainfall pattern, extreme flood events, and water-related diseases. As part of the effort to ensure equitable access to water and sanitation services, the WHO, in partnership with UNICEF, have developed the Joint Monitoring Program, which provides benchmark and technological approach to countries in service delivery. In development of this framework, the team conducted an extensive literature review of water and sanitation services in low-income communities across the globe. In doing this, the team identified some key components of assessment and improvements of sanitation and water services. This framework is not any different from the UNICEF Global WASH framework. Some of the components in this framework include climate vulnerability assessments through to community engagement and capacity building, financial sustainability, monitoring and evaluation. Moving on to the components of the framework, we will start off with climate vulnerability assessments. This deals with historical analysis and projection into the future scenarios, identifying the vulnerability areas, which could include water stress, flooding, and disease outbreaks. Also putting into consideration its socioeconomic aspects, existing infrastructure, and the demographics. As shown here in Figure 2 and 3, which depicts high and low intensity rainfall scenarios, adaptive mechanisms, we could see that when we are leaning more towards high adaptability and being less vulnerable, we are achieving high resilience. As engineers, we will agree that involvement of community in our intervention is very necessary for its success. Once we are able to incorporate the community's members' ideas, expertise, and preference, we would be able to carry out a sustainable and community-centered interventions. Some of the methods or approach we can use in engaging communities include meetings and consultations, open discussions and feedback, prioritization of their needs, and making them feel part of the entire project process. Once we are able to identify the needs of the communities, we need to identify a technology that fits their beliefs and their cultural structure. Our technology should fit in the current setting of the community. For example, if you are designing for an informal community, we need to install decentralized systems to accommodate the current setting. This image here depicts a simplified sewer system that has been designed for an informal community in Tanzania. This approach makes it easier to convey wastewater or liquid waste from various homes to the main treatment system. Policy and governance intervention are also very necessary in ensuring that our system is climate resilient, affordable, and equitable. In developing our structures for governance and policy, we need to incorporate or take contribution from all stakeholders, including the community members, government agencies, multilateral and bilateral agencies, as well as integrate our national plans and agendas. For our system to have long-term viability in changing climates, there is a need to have a financial mechanism and develop a cost recovery strategies for maintenance and improvements. Once we are able to implement all the other components, it is necessary for us to share knowledge of our best practices and successful technologies with other communities with similar climatic conditions. This can be done by exchange of expertise, successful approach and technology innovation to address challenges faced by these communities. Keeping track of our progress and monitoring our water and sanitation targets is very necessary. This will even make it easy to retrofit the intervention in other similar regions. In conclusion, it is evident that this framework provides a comprehensive approach for water and sanitation service delivery in low-income communities. Some of the benefits that can be derived from implementing this framework are enhanced living conditions, improved healthcare, and increased climate resilience. This proposed framework will go a long way in benefiting low-income communities in building resilience. I hope you do enjoy reading my article in the FIDIC Future Leaders Booklet. Thank you.